All right, welcome back. We have NAACP President Jerome Boykin on the phone, and obviously he's a big player in all of this because he was a proponent of the minority judicial district. Jerome, are you there?
I'm here, Martin.
All right, obviously you've heard State Representative Joe Harrison. What's your take? What's your side? Tell us tonight on Bayou Time.
Well, first of all, I want to say State Representative Joe Harrison is lying at this point. He's doing what he's been doing all the while, lying to the African American community in reference to the minority judgeship. Martin, the guy that started the deal about the minority judgeship is Joe Harrison. He's the guy that sent the letter to the Supreme Court to ask him to come down to Terrebonne to see if we have the caseload so we can create a minority judgeship. Joe Harrison is on record supporting a minority judgeship. Also, State Representative Gordon Dove is doing the same. Matter of fact, I just released a tape with those guys at the NAACP Martin Luther King Day when they got up in front of over 300 African Americans and said, clearly, a minority judgeship is needed for Terrebonne Parish. It's overdue. And if you want a copy of that tape, I'll be more than happy to release that tape to you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Also, Joe Harrison was clearly for the minority judgeship until Gordon Dove decided that he didn't want to support the minority judgeship. He talked to Harrison. Harrison was the guy that was supposed to carry the ball for the NAACP for this minority judgeship. But what did he do? He reneged on it because of the pressure he got from the local judges, the pressure that he got from Gordon Dove. That's the truth, Martin.
Okay. Now let me ask you this. He says, and State Representative Dove says, that when it came out of the first committee, now Representative Harrison just said a little while ago that I think he was okay with it up to that point. I think State Representative Dove would have been okay, but he said some things happened in that committee that were misrepresented that changed both of their mind about the way the process went. What are they talk? Were you in that meeting?
Yes, I was in that meeting.
Right. What happened in that meeting?
Martin, I want to say to you, we went to the committee meeting. If Joe reneged on carrying the ball for the minority judgeship, he was looking for an excuse to get out of it. Clear and plain. He was looking for an excuse to get out of filing a bill for the minority judgeship. He was looking for any reason that he can possibly find to get out of it. He was supposed to be there. He said he was going to testify. Now, you ask him, is that true? He was going to testify along with Damian Bardon in favor of the minority judgeship. But then he walks into the committee meeting 3 or 4 times that I'm in other committees, I'm trying to do this and I'm trying to do that, like someone is stupid. Once he did that, I knew that we had problems with Joe Harrison and also with Gordon Dove.
All right, but wait, you said you knew when he walked out you had problems with it, but on the Saturday Bayou Time right before the vote, you said he was with you. So when did it happen?
I talked to Joe Harrison on many occasions. I also talked to him that Sunday before the vote. It was approximately about 8 o'clock in the morning. I'll show you my phone record. And he then committed again that he was going to support the minority judgeship. Martin, these guys don't have a word. They say one thing and do something else. That's the reason why I'm glad I have a copy of this tape to prove to the public that these guys are saying one thing to the African American community and saying something else to the white community.
Okay, let me ask you this. You got your side and he has his side. So let's just say we move on. After he gets on the floor and he says that he is not for the bill, I think you were in the same section as the gentleman that allegedly screamed some things out at Representative Harrison. What happened at that point?
Martin, clearly for the record, I was sitting in the balcony. I was up there. He's talking about someone threatened to do bodily harm to him. This guy's just looking for something that he can play up in the community to where he can try and divide this community. I can assure you, no one will be arrested in reference to this false allegation. They're looking for something to put their hand on, but it's not there, Martin. I was there when the state police came there and the sergeant of arms came there. They talked to both of the individuals for about 3 or 4 minutes. Said, go back to your seats. If something was said in a threatened way to harm anybody, don't you think someone would have been arrested at that time?
Well, but that's
They
the
didn't
whole,
get their
that's the whole thing I'm trying to find, because I understand the person that screamed the allegation used to work in the house and worked for the guy that would be the one arresting him. So I'm trying to find out facts. And let me ask a question. I think 4 witnesses have come forward and said they heard the gentleman say that. Now, you were right next to him. You did not hear him say that.
I didn't. The gentleman wasn't even talking to the guy when he was just talking, having conversation with me up there. That's why I'm telling you, all this is just make-believe stuff to try to make a case out of something that's not even there. The state police didn't even ask both of the gentlemen their name. It wasn't a big deal. So
Okay.
that's why I'm wondering now on TV, you coming out like the state police got this huge investigation that's going on. Someone is going to be arrested and charged with felony charge. I promise you that will not happen.
And that may come to pass. I'm just saying, yes or no, is there or is there not an investigation? I'm told there is an investigation.
Well, maybe, I'm sure if State Representative Joe Harrison complained to the state police that someone threatened his life, Martin, you know they have to go investigate. But
Well,
what
absolutely.
I'm saying is there's nothing there to investigate.
Okay, and look, and that may come to fruition. I'm just trying to find the facts, because from what I understand, something was screamed from the audience. Now, what it was, I wasn't there. I don't know.
Yeah. Let me just, Martin,
What,
let me just
you
say,
tell me what was, you were there. What was screamed?
what I'm saying, there was nothing screamed to no one in no threatening way. People was up there talking. One of the guys said, you have to lower your voice some. It was several people up there talking, but I can clearly tell you no one said anything in a threatening way to Joe Harrison or anyone that was in the balcony. That is not true.
Okay,
What they're looking for is not there. But Martin, I also want to say, it's no need to rejoice in reference to the House voting down the minority judgeship, because don't think for 1 minute that this is over with.
Yeah.
I can clearly tell you it's not over with. It's over with on a local level now. That's true. But the reason why the NAACP, we did what we did, we wanted the Supreme Court to come down to see if the caseload was high enough so we can get an additional judge, and that judge be a minority. That was one avenue. The second avenue, when that failed, to see if we can get the legislation to write a law and to make it a minority judgeship for Terrebonne. That failed. So we go into our third option. We knew in the beginning what we had to do. Now, we feel more comfortable once we file suit than dealing with local judges who can send letters up to Baton Rouge in reference to opposing minority judgeship. So clearly, we had to go through the different options that we went through in order to get our national offices to get involved. And also, it's not all that bad, because during this process that we did, we was able to find out who is our friend and who is not. So we was able to see people who raised his head up against this minority judgeship. Mm-hmm. So at one point, we didn't know who they were.
Let me ask you.
Now we know more now than we ever knew before.
Let me ask you this. You hinted to a suit against the judges. Is that next?
I didn't say a suit against the judges. What I'm saying is the NAACP and national office is taking a look at this deal, and we plan to file a federal suit in the future. And that's the reason why I was saying it's no time for you all to rejoice like it's over with, because I can assure you this fight is not over with in Terrebonne Parish, because Terrebonne Parish need a minority judgeship. It will happen. We're going to fight until it happens, and I promise you we won't give up this fight.
All right, well, thank you for joining us, Jerome. Wanted to get your side of it. We appreciate it. Take care of yourself.
All right.
All right, what we're going to do, we do have to take a break. We're going to come back, and Jason's going to tell me how many minutes I have left. Then Stan Gravois comes on with some guests. We'll be right back. Don't go away.